Good morning, everybody. So I am tootling. I have my child with me, and it's currently 49 degrees outside. So there's your weather update, since everybody's always like, what's the weather doing in Texas today? Because we'll go anywhere from 30 to 80 and back down to 40 something. And it was like mid 60s yesterday and not gonna top 52 today. So tonight's gonna be cold. All right, you guys, as most of you guys have noticed, we have had an influx of drama lately. And I always feel like that happens. Like, we'll go through these spurts where we just have some drama. Like, we rehomed 722 to her home. And I have a lot of people that ask the question, like, why don't you just refund that mare and sell her to a different home? Well, I do retain the right to refund a difficult customer. This customer in particular does not deserve a refund. This particular customer deserves to have to come pay me and pick her horse up. So we will not be refunding her. And after 30 days of the horse being on my property, I will simply go down and put a board lien on the horse, and she'll have 7 days to pay me and pick up, or I basically reobtain the horse and we will probably find a rescue for her at that point. So, yeah, I want to make it very clear that the horses are purchased from one company and they are boarded with a secondary company. So if a horse gets injured in quarantine and you don't want your horse, that's not Jacob's fault. Like, that's between you and I, and if you want to be ugly about it, it's between you and I. So Jacob told her he is not refunding her and that she's responsible for the vet bill and she's responsible for board on my part. I mean, once I board your horse, Mommy, I'm just quarantining it. What, baby? Good job, baby. Tinley got in trouble last night for throwing her phone, so today she's been highly concerned about letting me know that she will never throw her phone again. Good job. So several things that I also want to kind of make clear are that under no circumstances do I want to reobtain any horses. We have so many horses. So this person, it was really honestly another good deed that should basically bite me in the ass, because they always do. I had a customer buy Skylar, which was a $6,500 Friesian cross. And they lived in the same area as the lady who bought 722. So I just happened to tell the lady that bought 722, hey, I have a transport maybe coming your way from a private customer. I'll give her your number. They worked out transportation amongst the two of them, but obviously you do have a birthday, baby. It's in October. So the lady that bought Skylar is not a transport service. She was just a private individual coming. So that morning when she got there, Skylar stays in the barn and had a blanket on and, was fantastic. So basically, we caught Skylar and loaded her, and then they walked out to the paddock where 722 lives with other horses, because it states in my buyer's guide that in quarantine they will not be exposed to any new... Probably, baby, yes.
No, it's my birthday.
Okay. Your birthday's in October. So the horses that she was exposed to are the same horses that she had been in quarantine with the entire time. Under no circumstances does my buyer's guide ever say that a $750 horse is going to be kept privately in a stall. That's just not how any of this works. So her and the two horses she was in a pen with, so 3 horses, got to running, and she jumped our Rubbermaid water tank and clipped her knee as she went over and knocked all the hide off the front of the knee. Well, of course, it's right in the bend of the knee, so she had some blood and she was a little bit lame and very dramatic, mind you. The mare is a little bit dramatic anyway, we have found, for her to be a little...
I'm not dramatic.
Sometimes, baby, you are. So basically Skylar's mom was like, oh, I really don't transport and I'm nervous. Like, I'm nervous about this. I've never really transported before. So to transport for these people, and like, I don't know, like, should we wrap it? And I'm like, I don't know. So we made the decision. I just text the owner and I was like, hey, 722 got injured this morning while they were trying to catch her to load out. If you don't mind, will you please let us know? You know, like, would you? Yeah, we don't do any outsourcing of our board because of situations like this. I want everything to be at my property. So if you want a board, you know, you can advertise and get your own customer base, but I absolutely do not outsource any quarantine or boarding, because what happens is once a horse leaves my facility, I have found that if they do get hurt or things like that, it's very easy to blame a different party. Like, we've had horses go to quarantine facilities and come down with strangles 2 or 3 weeks after they arrived there, probably got strangles from the quarantine facility that they went to. And of course, then that quarantine facility doesn't want to take responsibility and immediately blames my facility, when we've only had 2 horses with strangles in the history of me being there. Both of them were almost a year ago. They were like in the beginning of April of last year, and they were isolated and nothing else on my property got it. So it's very important for me to just, you know, I board until the owner picks them up, or we do quarantine. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I text the owner at 7:20 in the morning and tell her that the mare cut her leg. We had already arranged for early pickup, and they had already paid, both parties paid their board and paid early pickup fees, because we charge. If you pick up before business hours, we charge. So anyway, Skylar's mom basically was like, man, I really don't feel comfortable. Like, you know, from talking to her, I don't really know her, and she's not answering the phone, so we don't know if she wants us to wrap it or not wrap it, or if she would like for them to run it by the vet on the way out of town, or leave it here till the vet can see it. Like, she's not replying, and Skylar's mom is not a professional hauler, and now she's like, I ate
my cheese, my ham, and my ball.
And your crackers? Did you eat your chocolate? How's your little Capri Sun? Is it good? My child is eating a Lunchable at 11:30.
2 of these Lunchables are gone.
Good job, baby. Good job. So anyway, I don't blame Skylar's mom for like really not wanting to haul a horse that just got injured, because she's like, I don't know if this lady's gonna blame me. And I was like, well, I've already texted her and let her know, you know, that the horse got hurt here. And she's like, yeah, but she's not responding. And what if I get halfway there? And she's like, no, I would have wanted the vet to see it. She's like, I don't feel comfortable. And I'm like, I understand that. So she chose to leave the horse. So 3.5 hours later, 722's owner texts me back. And so I text, and my text reads like, hi, 722 got hurt this morning. My staff is going to go ahead and doctor her. Please let us know if you'd like for her to go ahead and transport, or if you'd like this wrapped, or just how you would like us to proceed. So no response. Skylar's mom leaves. She's not comfortable hauling at this point because she can't reach the owner. And now it's, you know, like,
Do you hear my phone?
no, baby, I don't. Anyway, it's like 10:30, almost 11.
Mommy, no.
And the owner's response to me is, first of all, I'm not paying any vet bills. And secondly, I'm not paying you $1 additional board. She never asked, how's my horse? Can I please get photos? She never even asked for an update. She just immediately jumped down my throat and was telling me what she's going to do.
Mommy, ate my crackers too.
Good job, baby.
Here you go.
So,
Here.
no, just put it down, baby. I'll get it when we stop. So then at this point, I'm like, okay, this is how this is going to go. So I respond like, you own the horse, you're responsible for the vet bills, and you're responsible for the board, and that's just the way it goes. There's no other way. Like, that's it. That's it. You're not getting out of board. And she's like, well, you're the one that hurt my horse. No, nobody at my farm, thank you, baby, I saw. Nobody at my farm intentionally hurt her horse. And not only did they not intentionally hurt her horse, let's be honest, like, it was not due to any negligence. Like, horses get hurt. So, and that's what she kept claiming, is that it was our negligence. And then she was like, why was my horse not in a stall? Why was Skylar stalled and my horse was not stalled? Well, first of all, Skylar cost $6,500 and your horse cost $750. And she's like, you're a bitch and you're only about the money and you only care about the money and my horse wasn't stalled because you clearly don't care about her. That's not at all the truth. The truth is a $750 kill horse is just out in quarantine with 2 or 3 other horses. That's just how we do it. And then if you fast forward, my buyer's guide says will not be exposed to any new horses and will be kept in small groups until pickup. So nowhere on my buyer's guide does it say that they will be isolated into a stall. Nowhere does it say that. Anywhere. And then fast forward, Skylar's mom is the one that didn't feel comfortable hauling her, and I can't make that lady put a $750 horse with a bleeding wound on her trailer with her $6,500 horse when she's not even a professional hauler. Like, she's uncomfortable. Like, that's fine. It's not her horse. She doesn't know this lady. She doesn't want to be responsible for an injured horse. Like, I don't blame her. So anyway, I just want to make it clear because I just don't want this kind of bullshit. Like, if this is your mentality that if your horse gets hurt at my property, I'm responsible and I am going to have to now assume all of the bills for a horse you purchased, I just want you to know that I would just prefer you not buy from me. Like, I don't know, like, call me crazy, but I just feel like it would be better if you just, do business elsewhere. Like, it's nothing, nothing like personal. Well, it is kind of personal for me. I'm trying to see my GPS. Sorry, you guys. I'm stopping at a stoplight and I'm like, I don't remember where to go. I think I turned right here. I'm sure I have to pop my ears. I'm going to the yeah, I do. I turn right and it's straight down the road. But, well, and now the lady is like, so she called the Better Business Bureau, and then I explained to them, like, both sides, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, there's a Better Business Bureau so buyers can complain, but what about sellers? Like, what about people like me? Shouldn't there be, like, a place that's like, don't do business with this person? Sure, and this lady, she posted on social media that she got scammed. She was like, I bought a horse and I have $950, which is basically $750 for the horse, $100 for board, and $100 for a last minute loadout fee. And then the hauler wouldn't take her horse. So she's like, I got scammed. Ma'am, that's not a scam. Buying a horse and it getting hurt and nobody can reach you is just circumstances. Like, there's a giant difference there is a giant difference at this point between being scammed and then just like unfortunate circumstances. They're not the same thing. And my husband shipped them to slaughter. So they didn't want them. They basically threw that big giant fit and stated that, that I wouldn't reach them, whatever. So anyway, my husband wired them the money, and then we were like, okay, so come get the other 2. And they were like, we want you to just keep those because, for your trouble. Never said sorry to me for all the shit they caused. And Jacob was like, fuck it. He was low weight, and he was like, because they didn't give them to me, they gave them to Jacob. They text Jacob and they were like, hey, you can just have those 2 horses. We don't want them. And so Jacob was like, well, okay. Like, so if they would have been smart, they would have given them to me, because at least then, like, they would have been mine and I can rehome them. But the moment they gave them to Jacob, my husband was like, hi. I'm low weight. So anyway, my husband shipped both of them. They left a couple of days ago. So, and I know there are going to be people that are like upset about that, and there's going to be people that are like, I love you, that are going to say whatever. But at the end of the day, We're not going to the farm, baby. We're going to Keller Williams to drop off a check. So,
We're gonna drop off a check.
what, baby?
Where are we gonna drop off a check?
A check? It's called Keller Williams. It's a real estate agent.
Are we going to it right now?
Yes, baby.
Is it a farm one or a DC one?
No, baby, the farm's the other direction. So, anyway, I just think that that's so bizarre. Like, I didn't get an apology. They didn't give the horses to me, and it's been my farm. It was my farm, you guys, that fed all of the horses and that literally did all of the upkeep, and then they gave the horses to my husband, to my husband, knowing. They know that my husband was a kill buyer. The son-in-law didn't care. He was like, I don't care. He was like, they didn't want to come get them. They did not want the horses. And they would rather give them to Jacob and let him ship them than to have to come get them and just feed them until somebody wanted them. So I thought that was mind-blowing, but at that point, I'm not.
My farm.
It is your farm, baby. At that point, I was just completely mind blown.
All the horses.
You do help me with all the horses.
Yes, they do.
Yes, you do. You're a good little helper. So Tinley and I.
You with all the donkeys.
Yes, you do have donkeys. What are your donkeys' names? Campancho. Well, Peyote's a horse, baby. He's not a donkey. Peyote.
Who's the donkey next?
What, baby? Yeah, the mama donkey, Campancho's girlfriend. Jacob brought home a beautiful black and white, like very like piebald looking, blue-eyed mama donkey a couple of months ago, and Tinley and I loved her, so she lives with Campancho.
And you just got me Campancho.
I did. Mommy and Daddy got Tinley Campancho, and then Campancho has Mommy Campancho, which is his girlfriend.
Daddy went to go get
Where's Daddy today, baby?
Yesterday, I went you to get my donkey.
Yeah, baby. Where is Daddy today?
At the sale!
He's at the sale.
Sale barn.
So anyway, my following and my videos are definitely for realist. Like, they are not for animal activists. They are not. What is it, baby? Not till we get stopped. And so there are people that really lose their mind when stuff gets shipped. Like, they lose their mind. And I'm like, it's very funny. It's also funny that
You got me this phone.
Mommy did, baby. Whatever suits their narrative. Some days,
Got me my phone case.
Mommy did. It's that we don't ship horses to slaughter
Daddy got me my phone case.
and that we're not kill buyers. And then
My phone case.
I'll have a horse running at a racetrack, or
Mommy.
somebody will be buying a horse from us with a ship date, and then they'll change their story.
Mommy.
They're not really kill buyers.
Hey, Mom.
You know, like, we're not really kill buyers. And then if I have a horse running at a track, they'll be like, oh, they're kill buyers. They're terrible people. They shouldn't be able to have racehorses. And I'm like, y'all need to pick a narrative.
You told me.
No, baby, Mommy is doing a live video. And I talk to you about 22 hours out of the day. Even in your sleep, you talk sometimes, baby. So when Mommy's doing a video...
Daddy got my phone case.
No, Mommy did. Yeah, Mommy did. Baby, you have been back there eating your Lunchable, watching Peppa, not wanting to say one word to me, and I go live, and you want to have a full-blown conversation about nothing. So, yep, that's because I'm little, people.
You want a cup of tea? One not cup of tea. One not no one cup of tea.
Yeah. I love you. Child likes to go get cups of tea. That's a whole other thing. But anyway, and then we had some thoroughbreds come in, and I have been getting a ton of people that I've been banning the comments because they're like posting the Equibase. Like these horses, you know, were on the track. So they're posting the Equibase stuff. And it's like so ridiculous. It'll say, we need to have this trainer banned. This horse has not been in their possession. They're not who took it to the sale barn. Why are you trying to get somebody in trouble who has nothing to do with the horse being in the kill pen?
Can I go with you? Can I go with
No, baby. No, baby. Mommy is going to finish her video. So, why? That's another thing. The drama. Like, I personally... Drama. I personally don't have a big desire to have all the drama, but when it's brought my direction, I am going to defend myself. But just like the thoroughbred racehorses, why all the drama surrounding them?
Mommy,
Anybody?
I got drama.
Anybody? Like, okay, so it's a thoroughbred racehorse. It was done racing. They either gave it to somebody or rehomed it to somebody. Obviously, the gelding probably got hurt. Tinley, watch your phone and be quiet. Let Mommy finish her video. I love you. We always listen to you, but right now, shh. 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 Does she seem super? She is the drama. But my goal this year is to defend myself when I need to defend myself, but to also remind people that we don't have to have drama to have entertainment. There is so much going on at my facility and so much education that I can entertain you all without the drama. It's not necessary. We don't have to blame the previous owners, blame the previous trainers. We don't have to have a villain. It sucks that people dump horses. It sucks. But the problem here is you can't blame Connections from their racing careers for something the Racing Connections didn't do. No, Tinley we're in town and she's wanting to go get tea. She's wanting to go have a tea party at the little bakery place that does tea parties. No, we are not everybody's cup of tea, but that's not where she was going with that. But my point is, there are lots of places that they have to have drama in order to entertain people because they have zero personality. There's nothing going on in their life, and without drama, there's nothing going on. But that's not the case for us. My staff and I have a lot going on, and for those of you who don't know, Brandon left. He's gone. I don't want to elaborate on that. He needs to talk to Jacob before he comes back. It's one of those situations to where, like, I kind of knew it was coming because we had a couple of heated exchanges, and then fast forward to, when there's like a heated exchange and one party feels like, first of all, I'm tired of somebody at my property saying, I don't work for you, I work for your husband. And then my husband being like, no, that's not going to fly, but it still keeps being told. Also, there's been more than one instance on live video to where he's raised a hand at horses. And it made me realize that if you'll do that on live video, what's going on when nobody's watching. And there's just some issues there. I hope that makes sense. It's not an attack on somebody personally. Like, that's another thing. Like, I have lots and lots of people that are very angry that I'm not, like, as supportive of Brandon as I am the girls. Like, I've had a lot of drama, and some of you guys are like, what? Like, you don't see it because you don't see it that way, but there are people that are like, you make posts about the girls, but you don't mention Brandon. And, in the past, like, you always have funny videos, but, you don't have funny videos with Brandon. Why do you isolate him? Well, first of all, we don't isolate him. He is very difficult to deal with. He is very grumpy. That is a very grumpy, he's not young. He's 26 years old. He's not young. He is not a young kid. I understand that, or maybe he's 25. Anyway, he's older than Elizabeth and Jess both by 5 years. So, Jess will be 21, and I think Elizabeth is turning 20 something. I have to ask, or maybe 22, 23. point being, there's been 2 videos that he hit a horse during the live video. While it was not overly aggressive for me, it posed an issue. Does that make sense? Like, I said something immediately, hey, don't do that, you know, and then the girls have come to me with some issues that they have just with, you know, like, it's really hard when I have 2 people that are genuinely there because they just love horses, and I have 1 person there for a paycheck. And we've run into this in the past. That doesn't make Brandon a bad person. And this is what I hate, is that a lot of times my following force me because Brandon has not said a word. Brandon is a good person. Brandon has a million great qualities. But when he decided, you know, that it was easier to leave than to fix. Honestly, what it's come down to is sometimes it's easier to leave a job than it is to fix the things that are not working. And that's what I feel has happened. Like, I'm very supportive. Tinley, stop it. No. You have your phone. But I've been getting messages, and I'm getting people, and that's the thing, is it's like people that watch us want to pick people that they like, and then they want to be like on that person's team or on that person's side. And
I'm a monkey.
I want everybody to know that, one, Brandon's mother is my friend. Her other son is fantastic. Brandon has been fantastic. He has lasted far longer than his mother or I expected. I'm very proud of him. I think that Brandon has a million qualities that I'm proud of, that I am thoroughly proud to say that we helped him get past some things. All right, you guys, a star party. I think a star party is hit. Let's do this. And so, first of all, what I hate are these situations to where people start asking, why don't you do this? Why isn't that person showcased in the videos? Why do you have these funny videos with Jess and with Elizabeth and not with Brandon? And first of all, Brandon and I aren't friends. Brandon is a staff member. Brandon keeps himself a staff member. Brandon, while he does sometimes laugh with us, most of the time he really can be difficult to deal with. And 4 minutes left on the star party. So I just think that also, it's hard because here's the thing. I'm not saying that Brandon is not good with the horses. Brandon has a million great qualities. He's a very good rider. He ropes good. But there have been 2 instances on live video he raised a hand to horses. There have been several instances that Elizabeth or Jess have come to me and been like, hey, here's the deal. Like, we had to go back and blanket his horses because he just wasn't going to. So they had to do their work and then go back and do his work because he felt like blanketing was just not important.
Dimples, so I licked them off.
Oh, good. She licked her dimples off. Good job. So it's just a matter of things like that. It doesn't make Brandon a bad person. Like, why can't we just have a matter of differences and say, like, Brandon's a good person. Brandon has been through a lot. Brandon has been incarcerated. He's been to prison. Brandon came to me really just wanting to work and have a job. And this is a little bit different. You're on live video. There's people that, you know, are watching you. We tried very hard to, like, incorporate him. He really didn't want to belong. He wanted to be different. He, you know, just... Elizabeth doesn't struggle with addiction. Brandon did. He was drunk 2 separate times in the middle of the day when I had customers come. I mean, so there's a lot that, like, and you can't really have that.
Mommy.
Yes.
Can you give me...
He also got drunk and wrecked the tractor and tore the fender up. And it's laughable because nobody got hurt, but, like, in the same breath, like, it's not laughable if he would have run a dog over or hit someone or hurt a horse. Like, it's the tractor is the only thing, and it's not a living thing that got messed up in the deal. Yes, baby. But that doesn't mean that, like, it's okay. Like, it's not okay to get drunk and wreck the tractor. It's a $59,000 tractor. And, you know, like, it would be different if it was like a legit accident, but like being drunk is not an accident. So anyway, I am tired of like the messages from people that badger me about my staff. Like, I just want this to be the last time I have to have this discussion. Like, Brandon's mom is my friend, and she did me the biggest favor of a lifetime. When I got out of the hospital, my facility was upside down. The horses were not fed properly while I was in the hospital. It was awful. Dara showed up with her son and her stepson, and they whipped my place back into shape. And his mother is forever somebody that I will sing her praises and be so grateful for, because she is such a good human being. And then, yes, the brand new tractor. So, Brandon got out of being locked up and basically, needed a job, and Dara said, do you mind if my oldest son comes here? He'll clean stalls. And when Dara got hurt, he stayed, and he stayed on, and he was originally there just because he kind of needed somewhere to get away from that same crowd he had been in before. And, I know, Tinley cracks me up. So basically what it fast forwards to is that Brandon stayed far longer than any of us expected. Brandon has worked very hard to stay off of drugs, to battle the drinking, and to get the drinking under control. And that's all his story that I shouldn't talk about. But you, as my following, who send me inbox messages, who text me, who step outside of just watching from a distance without an opinion, force me to have to explain things like, oh, well, is his mother? No, his mother and I are friends. I adore her. Like, his mother did me the biggest favor. He stayed after his mom left, and we didn't expect that. And he worked for months, and he's working very hard to be a better person. It's different when somebody's been to prison, you guys. Like, it's different. Like, Elizabeth has been to prison. Like, it's different for them. It's different to come back into society and to try to be. And sometimes, like Elizabeth, I can tell you right now, she would never raise a hand to an animal. She is like overly kind. But Brandon would get to the point that his temper goes, and his response is to be a little bit aggressive. Now, he's never been aggressive with me, but he did get in Elizabeth's face, and she told him, I'm not the fucking one. And then I thought, oh shit, she's going to beat him up right here in front of God and everybody. So it just got to where it was a little bit strained and stressful. This isn't something that I got on live video and talk about all the time, because it's really not something that I feel like should be. But again, I'm getting inbox messages. I have people that like want to send me a paragraph this long about how they can tell my favoritism in employees.
Mom, look at that cloud.
My favoritism in employees? Yeah, I fucking love Jess. I fucking love Elizabeth. If I have a favorite, it'd be really hard for me to pick between those two. But I love them, and we've become friends, which is something I shouldn't do, but it's hard not to when you're there every day with people. I want to see great things for them. I want to see them be there long term. I want to see them stick around for years. I want to be able to grow my business and increase their salaries. I'm hoping by the end of the year I can give both of them a raise. So that's a great thing.
Mommy.
We all have learned to love Brandon and to try to help him. But you can love somebody and want to help them, and it still not be like a great situation.
Mommy,
does that make sense? Like,
something's going in my mouth.
yeah. Is it a lie bump?
It is. It is a light bulb.
So I hope that that makes sense. Like, here's the thing. If Brandon called tomorrow and said, okay, I have come home, I've thought about it, and
made me a light bulb.
I want to come back and I want to work on the things that are causing waves, we would be more than happy to have him back. Like, here's the thing. Just because somebody is not currently at my property doesn't mean that we have, like, an actual problem with them. Like, I don't have a problem with Brandon. He just needs to really think about and work on a couple of things. Like, you can't day drink at my facility. It's a public facility. I understand that you live there, but you can't day drink there. you can't get in the face of your fellow staff members. Like, I understand it's tough because him and Elizabeth work together, but Jess does not. I mean, him and Elizabeth, share a bunkhouse, but him and Jess don't. And so these are things that are going to happen in life. Like, I'm always going to hire people and give people the benefit of the doubt because it is my character. And so I'm just telling you, her Nana told her one time if she told Fib she was going to have bumps growing in her mouth. So every once in a while, Tinley will be like, I have something growing in my mouth. And she hasn't put together that a lie and a fib are the same thing and that they only grow if you tell a fib. She's not old enough to put all that together yet. What is it? What, baby? You just need some attention. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. She's like, I'm hitting her. So, please understand, I don't pick favorites. I treat everybody with the same respect or disrespect that they treat me. Brandon is a wonderful person with a million great qualities. And I want that to be, like, he has a million great qualities. Him and I had some very heated exchanges recently, and they had gotten a little bit, like, more like, I'm telling you that this is going to change, or like, you're not going to have a job. And so I think he just made the decision the other night that he didn't want to work on the things that are necessary. Like, it's, we can't day drink. We can't like be aggressive with females. We can't talk, like, the way that I've heard him talk to his baby mama and his mother on the phone. I don't want my daughter to experience a man talking to a woman that way. I don't want that. Like, whatever you do behind closed doors normally is your business, not my business. But when you live at my property, which is a business, unfortunately, it becomes all of our business. And I do think that he is a good person with a million great qualities. But it is hard for him right now to be in the mix of Jess and Elizabeth and I. Don't pick your nose, child. And I hope that makes sense to you all, and that you understand that, and that you will just accept that right now he just needs for everybody to be supportive of him. Like, I want nothing but the best for him. I hope that he left my facility and will either really reconsider things. And I always tell people, when things don't work at my facility, I give people ultimatums normally. That the only ultimatums that were never given were to Desi and Joe. But any other staff member received an ultimatum. Like, these things can change, or you can choose to leave. And if they choose to leave, they can say they quit, whatever. But the truth is, they had an ultimatum. And they chose that not working for me was the better alternative to fixing the things that were necessary to be fixed. I did not give Desi and Joe the ultimatum. Honestly, I lost my fucking cool and completely restaffed. But aside from them, when Aspen chose to leave, there was an ultimatum given. When Kaylee chose to leave, the only person I think that probably left that I kind of was grateful because it was not good, was Deanna. And it was just a matter of just differences. But like, Rowan was fantastic for us. I mean, there were lots of people that worked at my facility that have been fantastic people. They just that just wasn't the job for them. Like, that doesn't mean that they're bad people. And that's the thing, is people always turn it into something personal. Even Jesse, the hauler, it was an ultimatum. Like, you can no longer haul from here unless you're going to sit down with me and have a discussion about things that I don't want to happen from my facility. And she didn't want to have that discussion. Yeah, Deanna dimming, it doesn't matter what you think about that. We shouldn't discuss that. Like, if somebody has an addiction to alcohol and was addicted to drugs and is also still battling trying to stay off of drugs, like, that is something that they need to want to get help for. It's not something that Elizabeth and Jess and I Can't, what? I don't think she meant to say that. I don't know what she's trying to say, but the way that came out and what she's trying to say are not the same. And it's why she can't be on live video anymore, because her dad right now is going to be like, I told you. Now what, baby? What did you say?
Are you motherfucker asleep?
I don't know, baby, what you're trying to say. I don't... I don't know what she's trying to say, but it just sounds so bad. All right, baby, we'll figure out whatever you're trying to say in a minute. I don't know, and it sounds bad. Nope, don't say it again, baby. We'll just talk about it and I'll figure out what you're trying to say. I love you. No. You want a sucker? You want a sucker. You want another sucker.
No, I don't. A sucker.
You want a sucker. Is that what you want a sucker? Is that what you want a sucker?
Yes.
Yes.
I do. Yes, yes. That is a yes, yes.
Okay, baby. Let me see. There are some suckers back here. Oh, I can't reach them, baby. I can't reach them. I'll get them here in just a second, okay?
And the suckers are old.
No, baby, they're not old. They're in the floor, but they're still wrapped. They're not old. I thought my child was saying motherfucker. How's y'all's day going? So Brandon grew up with horses. His mom loves horses and has a genuine great deal of patience. And Brandon really does like horses, but Brandon's just in a little bit different place in his life. And sometimes when you're in that place, it doesn't matter how much you love or don't love horses when you have a hard time controlling your emotions. So, yeah. Well, I really hope that this is not a cussing phase. So, I think that she's wanting a sucker and they're in the floorboard below her feet and she can't reach them. But
can you take off your seatbelt?
It is off. But I still can't reach them because they're by your door. My child has an addiction to seize suckers. So, yeah, good job. What's that?
It's scary.
I want another sucker from C's, but I just kept hearing, are you a motherfucker or are you a C? And I was like, that's not making sense. So anyway, I had to, but I will say that if Brandon talks to Jacob and wants to sort all that out and he does decide to come back, and he even apologized. He said, like, I'm sorry that I'm like leaving on short notice, but you know, my daughter's been sick and my baby mama will be here in 30 minutes. And I said, no problem. And he said, okay, so can you like send me my last paycheck? And I replied, payday's not till Monday. And obviously you won't be working a full week, but you also need to talk to Jacob because you wrecked the tractor and tore the fender off. And that was another thing. Jacob had been kind of talking to him, and he was supposed to, for the last 3 weeks, have ordered. He was like, as soon as I get paid, I'll order and fix the tractor. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like if he gets up there and he's like, you know what, I want to come back, I know that Jacob, and I think that Brandon has a lot of great qualities. We just probably will have to put him in a position that he's not actually the one handling the horses. And he's not been, like, we've not caught him doing anything that's like, oh my God, or animal abuse. It's more so things like Jess and Elizabeth put the blankets on because Brandon didn't want to have to take time to blanket everything, but it was going to be 20. So it's more of a compassion. Like, it was 55 today, but it's going to be 38 tonight. So you have to come back at dark and put the blankets back on. And, you know, he wants to be done. He doesn't want to go back out and put the blankets back on. And he doesn't, you know, for him, it's like, they're horses, they'll grow hair. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that those things, they're not abuse, but they're just not going to work at, you know, I hope that makes sense. Like, they're just not going to work at my particular facility. And then anytime I try to be like, Brandon, this isn't going to work, I work for Jacob. Which Jacob does pay Brandon and I pay the girls, but Jacob will tell you that, So it's been a very interesting winter, and it's hard when you have 100 head of horses that need blankets. You know, it's been 100 head of horses that need their blankets put on, taken off, put on, taken off, put on, taken off, put on, taken off. That's a lot. It's a lot, you know, it's a lot, and it gets old fast. If it would just either get cold so the blankets can stay on, or get warm so the blankets can stay off, we would all be much happier. But, you know, and the girls pick all their blankets up and bring them to the barn and rehang them, and then, like, Brandon's blankets are, like, out there laying on the ground and have gotten wet, or if it rained or whatever, and not that that matters. We just don't want the inside of the blanket compromised. If the shell is waterproof and you throw it on the horse, fine. But if they're laying upside down and they get rain on the inside and you throw them on the horse and that wet is trapped, it's things like that. I mean, it's a full day. I don't blame somebody for not wanting to do it. But if you don't want to do it, this just isn't the job for you. And that's very simple. It's like, listen, he has a good personality when he has a good personality. But, like, on days that maybe he's a little bit hungover, or he maybe has had a couple of day drinks, it's very hard on all of us, because Elizabeth, Jess, and I feel like we walk on eggshells. You know, we also feel like we walk on eggshells because Brandon does things that he doesn't, and has people over that he doesn't want on live video. And so then he'll tell me, like, don't video me, and don't video this, and she doesn't want to be on video, and I don't want her on, you know, and I can't have, like, this is a public facility to where I video. Don't have people over here if you don't want people to know they're here. Does that make sense? Like, you can't do that. You can't. So then it got to where then he would just leave to go to people's house. But then the things that happen in those houses is not acceptable behavior. So then we have to deal with somebody that's, like, hungover or coming down, or, like, it's a wild fucking ride, and we're just over it a little bit. Like, but we still like you, and we want what's best for you. And then you feel bad because you feel like you don't want somebody to leave the situation and then maybe go do worse. Like, you don't want them to leave, and, like, you know, that's, for me, that's what's tough. Like, right now, Elizabeth and Jess are like, man, we don't want to have people be ugly to us on the daily. And I understand that. But all of us have agreed that we don't want that person to leave. And then, yeah, but you have to sometimes when you're around somebody that's, like, maybe been drinking, or maybe, like, coming off of something. Like, you kind of have to walk on eggshells because we also want this person to kind of recover. But I'm not a recovery specialist. So you also have to remember that, like, Elizabeth doesn't drink. Elizabeth is, like, not a drug person. So even though she's been incarcerated and she's been to prison, and, like, she used to be on drugs, like, Elizabeth has made the choice that, like, those things are not part of her life. So Elizabeth is not tough on me. Like, I don't have to, like, man, Elizabeth got fucked up last night, and now today, like, we don't know what to do with her. You know, I don't have that. So I do know that there are people that can go to the penitentiary, people that can do time and that can recover and be, like, amazing. I mean, I fucking love her. Like, I would fight a grizzly bear for her. Like, I would do anything for her, and she would do anything for me, and she's very stable. Elizabeth went home to her family, and her mom and dad came back when she came back and just thanked me and how happy she is, and like her family is proud of her. And I mean, she is just like killing it at life, like total fucking killing it. And I want to celebrate that. And I want that for anybody that comes to work for me that has a past. I want them to be able to move forward and not be judged, and it just be like, hey, this is like a moment in my life, but it's over. But anyway,
Why should I wipe this?
what is it? Oh my goodness. My goodness, my goodness. Do not wipe that on my seats. Hold on. Here you go, baby. Good job. Thank you so much for asking. I'm so proud of you. I think there are some wet wipes in here. Oh, God. Maybe not. I thought there were some wet wipes, baby. Good job, though. Keep wiping. Wipe hard. She got a piece of chocolate. Hers got a piece of chocolate. So,
Ate it all.
just know that while things on live video are a certain way, sometimes behind video they are different. There can be things that are, you know, but we're very transparent, and we're not afraid to share anything there. And when you start doing things that are not like shareable, then it becomes an issue too. Like, we're very transparent. I mean, we're a reality Western lifestyle Facebook series. So when you start doing things that you don't want shared on live video and you don't want discussed, it also becomes an issue. Like, Elizabeth will tell you, she will sit down and tell you all her Tinder stories. Like, there's nothing she's doing that's not shareable. Nothing Jess does is not shareable. But Jess will tell you the worst and be very embarrassed, but laugh about it, and it happened. So, you know, Faye, absolutely. I don't, your past is your past, and I'm going to always give people the opportunity to be better. And I just want people to see that, like, while Elizabeth is thriving and doing amazing, and the work is consistent, and it keeps her busy, and it keeps her mind right, and she's now dating, and, you know, like, her life is just like flourishing, and she is just in the best place she's ever been. It's not that way for Brandon, and he is struggling, and it is harder for him, and does it mean that he's not welcome back? Absolutely not. Does it mean that he's not going to come back? Probably not. But if he chooses to, like, we would accept him with open arms, but he just can't do some of the things that have gone on in order to come back. I know, baby. All right, you guys. And we need to work on a fundraiser for Dunny. I need to post it today, and I really, like, we are going to have to legitimately fundraise $4,000 to be able to do all of the stuff with Dunny and with last half our class. And it's going to be all or nothing on those two. And I know that that's a lot of money, but I know that collectively there's 375 people watching. And if everybody pitched in, we could do it. Like, if 100 people can pitch in $10, you know, if, like, you know, that will help. And if we could do that each week for 2 weeks, it adds up. Like, I told somebody the other day that we have 375 people watching, and that live, and there's going to be several thousand people watch on replay, and there's going to be a bunch of criticism about how I shouldn't talk about my staff and their personal life. And then I'm going to have to remind everybody that this is a reality Facebook series, and we're going to unfortunately have to talk about, you know, we're unfortunately going to have to talk about things that are uncomfortable, and just accept people for who they are, and that's part of it. And Brandon knew that when he came here, and Brandon was okay with that. And it's just gotten to where some things in his life are going on that he doesn't want publicized. And that's because he's doing things that maybe he shouldn't. And that's okay. And it's not okay. That's not okay. What am I saying? It's not okay. And it's not okay at my facility. And so he chose to leave. But I do think that he maybe will come. I don't know if he'll come back, but if he comes back, there are just things that he can't do. We can't day drink. We can't drink so heavily that the following day that we're hungover. We can't do drugs. We can't have people over and then not want them on live video because of issues. There's so many things that you cannot do things that are shady that you don't want people to know you're doing at my facility.
Mom, I sneezed very loud.
Because Jess and Elizabeth don't need to be around that.
Mommy, I sneezed very loud.
Hello, this is Tara. Nope, he is available. 1850. It's okay.
Wash my house.
Yep, he has cellulitis currently, and he's non-weight bearing on the left hind, but he will be. Yeah. Yeah, I think he got kicked. I think. Probably. Yeah. No, he's not been on the track. What we were told, the story behind him is we were told the trainer had sent him to a hunter jumper trainer, and that that lady had him, and then she had a working student supposedly that she was gifting him to, and that was like a month ago, and then he ended up at the sell barn. So it wasn't his racing connections, it's whoever that trainer gave the horse to that was a quote working student quote.
I'm sweaty hot.
Super sound horse otherwise, has great knees, ankles, feet. No worries. Yeah. And so what we told everybody that had showed interest is that we would board him for free until pickup, as long as it's within 2 weeks. I turned the air on. It's you're frickin' hot. Frickin', the word is frickin', Tinley, the word is frickin', you're frickin' hot.
I'm fucking hot.
Yep.
I'm fucking hot.
Stop. Yep. It's no problem. We're just going to continue PEMF therapy and Theraplate.
Mommy, I turned your phone into chocolate.
Yep, actually we will board for 2 weeks, so it's what you wouldn't owe anything. If you buy him that 2 weeks, I'll just donate. I don't want anybody to pay me for that. I had said whoever purchased him, I would put 14 days of rehab into him, and I will for free. Yep.
Your phone is chocolate.
Perfect. Absolutely. Yep. And that way, if 2 weeks could help him just to get there, more comfortable would be fine. But we're not, like, I already talked to the trainer that had him on the track, and he was like, he went to a hunter jumper facility, and, yeah, he did, and he gave me the name. They're in, Metairie, Louisiana, that place. And, anyway, the text messages between that trainer were like, yeah, I had a working student that purchased him, or or whatever, worked him off or whatever, and they took him, and I'll send updates. Well, then that was like a month ago. It was like December 2nd was when she texts, because he texts just to see how the horse was. So like the connections from the track have proof. They even tried to kind of keep up with him, and they were told December 2nd that he had been either sold or gifted to a working student. And anyway, and then fast forward to Tuesday, he ended up at the sell barn. But I'm telling you, he seems super sound otherwise. Just I can't guarantee that one leg, but the problem is the inflammation is all the way up into the gaskin, and it's just down the front of the leg, and he has tiny nicks. So I just think cellulitis had set in, and it's painful, and so we gave him Exceed. He's on Uniprim, and he's getting Butte every day. But I mean, anything that you wanted to send or wanted Dr. Hanlon to get would be no problem.
Can you take my seatbelt?
Yeah. It's not in the foot. I mean, it's up in the, it's kind of all cellulitis. Even when Jess was trying to rub the leg to wrap it, he didn't want it touched. It was really hot and just She said kind of crunchy, and I'm like, yep, that's cellulitis. Yeah, I'll be out there here in just a little bit, and I'll be able to kind of give you an update on what it's like today, just with the antibiotics really setting in and everything. My only problem is I had a million errands this morning. I haven't been to the farm yet.
Mommy, I'm a big girl.
I don't. We have Cash App, we have Zelle, or I can put an invoice on the website and you can check out with a credit card. Yeah, no worries.
Mommy, look at that tent.
What I'll do, is this your cell phone?
Mommy, look.
I'll just put a picture of him and then
Hi,
put a
Daddy.
description, and then I'll just send you the invoice and you just add it to cart and check out just like it was a boutique, or it's like it's just a checkout like that.
Mommy, I say hi to Daddy in the airplane.
Yeah. We just stopped with PayPal because of all the fees. They got to where they were charging for everything, and like our business, they would charge us even to transfer the money to our bank unless we wanted to wait 5 days. So
Mommy, I saw Daddy flying in the airplane.
okay.
Going to Indiana.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Well, I think maybe. No, I can't. Fuck. All right, what is today? I don't even know. Today is Monday, but
Mommy, can you fix my phone?
yes.
I love you.
I love you so much, my little peanut. Here you go, baby. All right, you guys. I am going to post a fundraiser just because it is, you know, it is just part of it. You can either send Dunny's funds to my Cash App, or I'm going to post an actual fundraiser. I just need to have time to... You did not drink a fly, baby. A fly can't get down in there. But all right, you guys, I have a million things to do. We'll be to the barn here in a little bit, and we will be doing updates on... We will be doing an update on Dunny, and just do a collective of what we need to do so that we can get a fundraiser started. So, yes, baby. But there's 401 people watching now. If everybody did $10, we could absolutely change those horses' lives. So,
I want my seatbelt off.
no, baby, you can't have your safety belt off. All right, you guys, I'll see y'all at the farm here in just a little bit. Bye, you guys.